So here's how you make sure that your ads are profitable if you are an online educator, if you have an online course or an online membership or a coaching program, if you're an online educator basically. So if you're running social media ads, and again, if you're an online educator, you certainly should be running social media ads, either that's Facebook ads or YouTube ads or whatever it is, you should be running ads. But here's how you make sure that they're profitable, right? In a nutshell, you have to know your numbers. And more specifically, I'm gonna focus on one number that you absolutely need to know to run profitable ads, and that is your lifetime value of the customer. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's say you have a membership. Well, if you have a membership, and let's say it costs $50 a month for somebody to be in your membership. Well, when you make a sale, when you get a new customer, a new student enroll into your membership, you make $50 on that first month, right? But that's not the only thing that you'll make, right? So let's say on average, your students will stay for 10 months. And that's a number you absolutely need to know. So if you run a membership, you need to know how long a member will stay on average, right? Some will leave after the first month, some will stay a couple of months, some might stay for years, right? But there's an average number that's in your business, in your membership, and that average number will tell you what's the lifetime value of your customer. So let's say for this example, your average student stays for 10 months. Well, that means on the sale, you didn't make $50, which you've gotten right now. You've actually made 10 times $50, which is $500. Well, so now you got a lifetime value of your customer, right? Well, let's now take it a step further. So let's say you have a membership, but you also have some other courses that you're selling, right? So like some of your members will buy some of the courses, right? Well, now you need to go back and look at your numbers and see, okay, so how likely is it, or how many of my new members or how many of my members also buy a course, right? So let's say you have a $1,000 course, just to keep the math simple, right? And let's say that 10% of your members will end up buying that course as well, right? Let's say you have it set up as an upsell. Well, 10% of that 1,000 is $100, right? So that means you should add that $100 to the 500 that we already calculated as your lifetime value, right? So now your lifetime value of your new member is $600. So not to make this math too complicated, but this is how you basically can calculate and should calculate how much is a new customer worth if you have a membership. So that you don't get stuck thinking like, okay, but I only made $50, but it cost me, let's say, $100 in social media ads to acquire that new customer, so I'm losing money, right? I see this happening all the time, like online educators. No, you've actually made money. In fact, you've spent 100, you know that a new customer is worth 600, so you made a 6 times return basically on it, right? The only thing is, because you have a membership, that's the nature of the membership, it didn't materialize yet, right? So like the profits, you know, are coming, but they're not in your bank account yet on month 1, because that's the nature of the membership, right? Like people pay month by month by month. Unless you have a yearly option, that's a different story, but you know, the same principles apply. So that's basically how you calculate your lifetime value of the customer. Now, if you have a course, it's gonna be a little bit simpler, right? So let's say your course costs $500. Well, somebody buys a course, that's your first step. Obviously, they've spent $500. Now, do you have other offers that you're offering to them, right? Maybe you have like a one-on-one coaching program that you upsell them into, or you have a membership on top, or whatever it is, right? Now you have to estimate how many of your members will also buy other offers and how much more will they spend over, you know, their lifetime of being sort of like in your audience, right? Like they're not gonna stay with you for, you know, the rest of their lives, but there's a certain period of time which, you know, they'll stay with you, they'll engage with your content, they'll likely buy more stuff because, you know, repeat customers are a major boost for your business. So there's gonna be more than 500 that each new customer is worth, right? Maybe it's 700, maybe it's 800. You gotta go back, you gotta get those numbers, and once you know that number, you can go to social media ads, and it's literally just, you know, doing the math. It's like, okay, how much do I need to spend? How much is my lifetime value? Is it profitable? Isn't it profitable? You will know right away, right? But I see many people, they go to social media ads, or even worse, post organically on all these social media platforms, spending a lot of time on it without having a clear understanding of the numbers, or even like tracking how much time they spend and so on, which is, I would say, even more painful than like not tracking your money, is like not tracking your time, because time is limited and money is basically unlimited. But yeah, I see a lot of people in the online education space make these mistakes, go to ads, go to social media platforms without understanding their numbers. Then you don't have a benchmark. You don't know what you're trying to achieve. You don't know if you got a good result, if you got a bad result, a mediocre result. You made a sale and you don't really know, can you scale this? Can you not scale this, right? So that's why I say, you know, spend some time, go through your numbers. It's likely that you will have different sources of truth. You know, maybe your email platform will tell you a little bit about it. Your online course platform, maybe you have a Kajabi or a Podia or a Thinkific or Teachable or whatever you have, right? You'll get some numbers from there. And then also your experience, you know, if you can't pull all the numbers, or you don't want to spend like, you know, 3 weeks if you have some complicated systems, just make your best estimate, but get that number, right? You're going to improve that number as you go in time, as you get more data, you'll get a better and better estimate, more and more accurate, you'll be relying on it more and more, but that number is really going to drive your growth. If you don't know it, you're kind of flying in the dark, you'll never be able to scale. If you do know it, the exact opposite, you know exactly where you're going, you know your map, you have your plan, you have your numbers, you can scale as much as you want.